start.
This is Tech Pulse, the show that keeps you in step with the technological world and one step ahead of everybody else. I'm your host, Hartley Reginald Smith II. Let's start the show.
What's up? What's up? It is April 29th, 2013. And we're here for yet another edition of Tech Pulse. We're going to get started right away because this is the show where you get all your tech news, all your tech information so that you can, go about your day knowing what's going on. And we're just going to get right back into it, because Friday, we left off, and now Monday we're back in the tech world. So let's get right into our first story. We're going to start off with a couple of updates, because we've talked about a lot of different tech, and we want you to be ready to know what's going on. So for those of you that heard us talk about the Leap Motion, there is a update to the Leap Motion. Now you're saying, well, what's this Leap Motion? For those of you who haven't heard it, I'll show you a picture of it coming up. But the Leap Motion said on Friday that they would be delayed in their shipping. They were supposed to come out in May. That was supposed to be the time that they were going to start shipping. I think May 13th was when they're going to start shipping their first set of orders. But according to a report, they said Leap Motion will delay shipping its Leap 3D motion controller to pre-order customers until July 22nd. The startup said previously that it had planned on shipping in May. Like I told you, retail partners will make the product available to other customers shortly after that. They were supposed to start shipping May 13th, and then stores like Best Buy was going to get their units on May 19th. In a conference call, CEO Michael Buchwald said that although he felt the company could have gotten Leaps into the people's hands by the original schedule, that time frame wouldn't have allowed time for adequate testing of the product, such as such, Leap Motion plans a beta testing period starting early June, and the beta test will evaluate the product across the board. In the call, Buchwald said that the company had always planned on having a beta test, but that it simply fell behind and decided that after wrestling internally with what they were going to do with the issues, that it would be better to delay shipping in order to ensure the product provides the best possible user experience. Now, Buchwald assured reporters on the call that this will be the one and only shipping delay. So for those of us like me that pre-ordered and you're looking forward to May 13th to get that thing shipped to you, he said that he wanted to let us know that this is going to be the only shipping delay and that there has been no production problems. Indeed, he made a point of saying that he already has 600,000 units in warehouses that are ready to go. Still, as a company, we always said that we wouldn't release the product until it met our expectations. And our expectations are extremely high. The San Francisco company Gesture Control System measures users' movements, as you know, to an accuracy of 1/100th of a millimeter. And it's going to cost $80. The thumb drive size device costs $80. It plugs into your computer's USB port. Leap Motion also has signed a deal to embed its technology. Remember we reported this a week ago or so into HP. They signed a deal with Hewlett-Packard so that they can embed their technology into certain Hewlett-Packard devices. And they say it's slim enough to even be in phones. So prepare to see this thing come out in HP tablets and things like that. But in addition, they also cemented deals to bundle its controller in Asus PCs. For those of you that know Asus, they make PCs, they make tablets. The Transformer, Asus Transformer, is out in stores. They also make a line of PCs, and they're gonna they signed a deal to embed that technology in Asus and HP. And they're going to sell in Best Buy stores on bestbuy.com as well as its own website. And more than 10,000 developers have gotten on board and gotten their hands on the technology and begun working on apps, and will be available through the company's store, app store known as Airspace. So this report that we're hearing from Leap, to me, okay, it's disappointing, because I want the device, but to hear that they are perfecting to make sure that every facet works. I mean, Devin, do you think this is a good move? As a matter of fact, is this something more companies should model after in terms of, if you don't feel that the product is right, rather than just rushing it out to market, and, and for those of you that don't know the Leap Motion, I'm showing you a picture of it right now, or do you think they should have, because he said they could have come out, but they wanted to meet all of their expectations. Is that a good move for Leap Motion?
Yes, it is. It's a good move. I know that as the person running Pulse E-Media, it's a difficult decision. When you're excited about getting your product out there, you're losing time if you're not out there, and losing support, maybe, possibly. But it can hurt you if you bring stuff out that's not good, that's not quality, below par. Especially if you know where it should be.
Right.
If you don't know, and you've set a bar where it's reachable, but if you set a high bar, you should stick with it.
You have to stick with it, and especially for a company like Leap Motion that nobody knows about. Before this technology, nobody knew about Leap Motion. Matter of fact, this is their only product. The company was built around this product. So if they don't make sure that this thing is right, on point, as it's been advertised, as people have seen it, it definitely can do damage to their reputation and to their company in general. So, even though I'm one of those people that's like, man, I wanted this thing to come out.
I want this thing bad,
Yeah, but I understand. I understand that they have to make sure that this thing is right. And as someone who's into tech, someone who knows about technology, one of the worst things is to advertise a piece of technology to be able to do something, and when it comes out, the UI or user interface is terrible. You can't use it. It doesn't do half the things they say. That's one of the biggest letdowns. And then, you can look at it and say, well, if they had just taken more time and polished it, they could have come up with a better product. So they had to do, if they didn't feel this thing was 100% ready, they had to delay it. They have to, and it's not that long. I mean, July 22nd is not that far away. And
I'll wait.
Yeah, I'll wait. If it's going to do the things they say, I'll definitely wait. And according to Buckwell, he said, ultimately, the only way we felt 100% confident we could deliver a truly magical product that would do justice to this new form of interaction was to push the date back so we would have more time for a larger, more diverse field test on the product. And hey, I mean, I can't fault them for that, because when you look at a product like this that's going to revolutionize the way we interact with our computers. I mean, this is what wearable computing, this is the age of wearable computing. We've already seen Google Glass. We've seen some watches coming out. Apple is coming out with some iRing technology to go with a 60-inch TV that they have. Wearable computing, as a matter of fact, they have solar backpacks that can charge your cell phones and all that stuff. Wearable computing is where the world is going right now. This is where we're starting to enter into an age where we don't carry our computers with us, we carry them on us. You know what I'm saying? So they're less intrusive. And this Leap Motion is one of those technologies that's going to allow you, to carry your computer on you. I mean, Google Glass uses a version of this technology, because when they say that you can, the pinch zoom, you're going to be able to do that in the air, and the image is going to get bigger and smaller and so forth. So to a small degree, they're using this type of technology to make the Google Glass something that's going to be truly portable, something that's going to be truly wearable. Because nobody wants to have wearable computers with wires hooked into you like a cyborg. You want to be able to, just wear the computer and have it work. And Leap Motion, this technology is really going to advance in the medical community. I mean, you can imagine it for the CIA. Instead of their normal touchscreen computers, you can imagine them just like you saw on the Matrix, or these things where they're just, or Minority Report, where they're just in the air. You know what I'm saying? They bring up the images and they're just doing things in the air because of this. So they need to get it right. They need to get it right. And it is disappointing when you're a fan of a product and you're saying, oh man, oh it's coming out, and then next thing you turn around they say, oh it's delayed. If you're in the tech world, this is something that you know. It happens. It happens all the time. People in the tech industry continually. I mean, one of the biggest people that do it is Apple. Apple is always pushing stuff back. Stuff is never ready when when it comes time for Apple launch. Right now, their iOS 7 for their iPhone 5, you know what I'm saying, it's said to be behind. So will it ship on time? You know, we don't know. But the point is, delays in technology is nothing new. What Leap Motion has to make sure that they do, they promise that this is going to be the one and only one. They need to make sure that if they're going to delay it for as much time as you need to make it. Don't come out with 2 and 3 and 4 delays. You know, July 22nd, oh, we delay it again, and then to another date.
This will be the one and only delay.
That's what the guy said. The CEO, Michael Buckwald, he said that he wanted customers to rest assured that this will be the one and only delay for the unit. They have 600,000 in in warehouses ready to go. They just want to field test it. And the fact that they already have 600,000 units made tells me that for the most part, it's done, because you're not gonna manufacture that many units only to say, ooh, we got to change something major. If anything, it's probably just like a firmware update or something that not hardware based, something that they can just, you know, plug in and update all the devices. So, you know what I'm saying?
Excited,
oh yeah, I can't wait for this thing to come out, man. Leap Motion, oh yeah, this is gonna revolutionize the way all of us interact with our computers, interact with new technology coming out, and I can't wait. To be honest, I can't wait for this to really take off. You know, but we're just gonna have to wait until July 22nd, according to Leap Motion. We're gonna have to wait until then. Now, in other stories talking about updates, we got a brief look at, and the reason why I say brief is because I really don't think Microsoft would leak out more information, like all their information, especially with their May 21st announcement of Xbox 360 coming out and E3 coming out maybe just a few weeks later. But Microsoft did release that some specs, some things we were wondering about the next Xbox. That's codenamed Durango. I don't know if they're gonna stay with that name. In E3, we'll probably hear what the official name is gonna be. But last week, Microsoft confirmed that the next Xbox video game console, codenamed Durango, will be revealed publicly. That means the unit itself is going to be revealed publicly to the public during a special event in Redmond at its Redmond campus on May 21st. That event will kick off a multi-event unveiling that will continue through June and culminate with the release of the device, which is expected, they said, in early November. That's when this device is coming out this year. On March 28th, they exclusively revealed via Twitter that Microsoft had changed the original reveal date for the next Xbox from April 24th to May 21st. You see? And what facts did they release about it? Here's what we know about the next Xbox. So for those of you that are waiting with bated breath like me about this new console coming out, here's the early announced. The initial reveal date was pushed back from 24th to May 21st, so Microsoft could better position the device against the PlayStation 4, which Sony announced in late February. So that's the reason why they pushed it back to May 21st. Something else we know, full end user announced Microsoft will fully reveal details about the next Xbox, including launch lineup of games. They're going to have this launch lineup of games on the eve of the E3 trade show that happens in June. So that's what for those of you that are looking to see what Microsoft is gonna reveal on the eve of E3, which normally happens June 13, June to the 17th, stuff like that. Not the date, but in the teens is when E3 normally happens in that week. Developer announcement. It appears that Microsoft will discuss the next Xbox developer platform at the Build conference in San Francisco in late June, based on the clues on the Bill website. The launch date is early November 2013. So this year, it's going to come out probably before Black Friday, before Thanksgiving. Also, the next Xbox will be based on a core-based version of Windows 8. So here we go again with the Windows 8, and made for touch, but so we're gonna have to see. But here's what they're saying. They're saying that the Kinect is going to be built in to the device. So the Xbox Kinect that we have now, that extra peripheral, they're saying it's going to be built into the device. So to have Windows 8, which is a touch-based operating system, maybe with the Kinect, it's going to be to where, you wave your hands, you do different things. They're going to refine it. So it's going to be a Windows 8, that suggests a common app platform, or at least one that's similar to the Windows 8 that we know. And then with the Kinect involved, we got to see if Microsoft really is going to have this UI perfected to where it doesn't become an annoyance or a gimmick. You know what I'm saying? Having this thing involved, embedded in the next Xbox. But so far, with the announcement, nothing really big. And I'm thinking that Microsoft is just releasing just enough to get our appetite, to get our appetite going. And other improvements, Microsoft said they are initially offering 2 price models for the console. The standalone version is going to be $499. $499 is going to be the standalone version. For those that want a cheaper version at $299, you can get that version, but it's Devin say that's his version, but guess what? It's not really $299 because you have to get it with a 2-year subscription to Xbox Live, and that's going to run you about $10 a month.
The $499 comes with a...
No, it's just a standalone unit, and you have to do your own subscription. This one,
$499.
Yeah, this one you have to get it. Now remember, it doesn't. The $299 doesn't come with a 2-year subscription. You have to decide if you're gonna buy that. You're gonna sign up for a 2-year subscription, which runs about $10 a month. So you're paying $120 a year, 2-year subscription, $240. So you're gonna have to pay that extra $240 plus the $299. So guess what? You're at $540, which the other machine is $499, and you can choose if you want Xbox Live or not. I don't know, and then for some people, they already have Xbox Live accounts. You know what I'm saying? People that are getting the new Xbox, they already have Xbox Live, so you can't sign up for a 2-year, you already have it. So, Microsoft that $299 version is trying to get people to sign up. I don't know what they're thinking with that, because if someone is new to the Xbox ecosystem, to make me sign up for 2 years at $240 out the gate, I don't know. You need to come up, if I'm new, you need to come up with some kind of trial subscription that I can try it out, because if I'm going to spend $540 on your console, and then I see another one over here that's $499, and I don't have to worry about a subscription, I can do it whenever I want. Why am I going to get that one? And they're saying, well, if you want a cheaper version, but it's not really cheaper if I have to sign up for a 2-year commitment, unless it's a 2-year commitment and they just assume I'm just going to pay $10 a month, but most of these subscriptions, the $10 a month is what it's broken down to be. You don't pay it each month. You have to pay the lump sum, and when they break it down, it's $10 a month. So we're going to have to see. I mean, Devin, do you think that's from what we're hearing, that this is just what we're hearing now? So it might change by E3. Do you think this is a good move of Microsoft trying to say they're coming out with 2 separate tiers, but really you're not, when I still have to fork over $500 at the table?
Yeah, that doesn't sound like a good idea. And people, you're always going to get some disgruntled or,
right.
But it's for worthless reason. It's not for a good reason to get people all upset. It's like, just come out with the one price point, and that's it. That's it. Just say it's $499, and that's it. Because I think that's what the PlayStation is doing. They just have one price point. Yeah. They don't have these tiers, that Microsoft is trying. They're trying to tell you it's cheaper, but and then to use it. Here's the thing. So what's the machine costing then? If you're saying you're able to give me the machine for
$299,
right? But some other interface, is
Xbox Live is going to be $240. Because
240
2-year
basically.
subscription at $10 per month.
Yeah, so the $4.99 person is getting Xbox Live.
No, you get just the system.
So what's the? I don't get it. I don't get
That's
it.
what they're offering. I can only tell you what they're offering. Does it make sense? That's what I'm trying to say. To me, it doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make any sense at all.
to give me. It's not like the $4.99 comes bundled
That's
with
my
Xbox
point,
Live.
yeah.
So well, let me just get that. No, that's just the machine.
So
that's
what's the
it.
real difference? What is the real difference?
$40 on the other side. You're paying $40 more for the $2.99 version with a 2-year subscription. So I don't, and that is mainly for people who don't have Xbox now to start. You don't have the Xbox technology. So to me, it just doesn't make sense for them to make people sign up for 2-year when that person probably needs a trial subscription to know if they want it. The people who are going to get the $4.99 are most likely the people that have Xbox Live to begin with.
Yeah.
But the problem is that one of the other things that we're learning is that the next Xbox, these are the things that they released. The next Xbox is going to be internet connected, which means you must connect it to the internet in order to use it. You won't be able to use it, even though there are some games you can play offline. They said the next Xbox must be internet connected to use. This is a source of that always on. Remember that always on technology where they can constantly download updates and so forth. This is what is coming out of the Microsoft camp. And to me, having to have internet connection for it to work. Now I know most households have internet connection, so it's not necessarily a stickler for what I'm talking about, or it's not necessarily to say that it's an inconvenience, but I personally like options. I don't like when something is telling me that you must do this in order to use the device, you know? And something like with internet, you know, where it's like if I need to turn my internet off for whatever reason, you know, maybe times are hard and, you know what I'm saying, I got to cut it off and maybe I just got to piggyback off of a public signal, you know, the place where I live. They have public Wi-Fi and stuff like that. But public Wi-Fi is not always reliable. Plus, when you're on a public network, you know, you're more susceptible to hackers and so forth because it is public. You know, so you have to make sure that you have the proper antivirus software on your computer or you're on whatever device that you're connecting to this public network. And, you know, I mean, to make the Microsoft, the next Xbox have to have internet connection in order for me to use it, I don't know. I don't like that because if for whatever reason I need to cut my my internet off for whatever reason, you know, then I can't play any games. Right away, my Xbox next Xbox is done. So I don't know if this is something. And then if they're going to make it always on, like I said before, with the power consumption that these next generation machines use, it's not cheap if you leave these things always on. I'm telling you. It's not cheap, you know, and I really don't want to have to leave a machine that's going to be, you know, 7, 8, 10 times more powerful than the Xbox I have now, but they haven't balanced increasing technology with lower power consumption. They haven't balanced that yet. So that's one of the things that's coming. They said it also will include a Blu-ray optical drive, okay? That's standard. I mean, to come out with a DVD drive, no, not with the memory that today's games take to play. They said Microsoft originally planned to offer both a full version of the next Xbox with video game playing capability and a lower-end entertainment-oriented version, codenamed Yuma, that didn't provide gaming capability. But plans for the Yuma are on hold, and no pure entertainment version of the Xbox will appear in 2013 or possibly ever. And I think that's a good idea because nobody really wants to buy an Xbox that doesn't play games. And for the people out there that's looking for a set-top box or looking for something in the home, there's too many other things like Roku, Apple TV. Sony has a media streamer out there that brings you Netflix and all of these different things. I mean, some people even have their computers hooked up to their TV. So I don't know where Microsoft was going with this Yuma, a non-game console entertainment set-top box. I really don't know where they were going with that, because I just don't think that's really going to sell. So the fact that it's on hold is a good thing. The last update that we're hearing is that Microsoft will also deliver a third generation Xbox 360 console this year that will be significantly less expensive than the current models. They said significantly less expensive than the current models. This new Xbox 360, codenamed Stingray, will be codenamed Stingray, but it's not clear whether the device is required because the next Xbox isn't backwards compatible, or because Microsoft simply wants a low-cost entertainment box alternative. A third possibility, and to be clear, these are only possible reasons, these are just speculative that we're saying here on Tech Pulse, is that the 360 simply has life left in it, and with dwindling component prices in the 8 years since the original launch of the 360, the firm Microsoft can still make money selling a cheaper version. Because think about it, I mean, there's always people that are latecomers. There's always people that are late to the table, or price was an issue. They're not really hardcore gamers, so they're not going to spend $300, $400, $500 on a system. So you come out with a 360 that costs $99. 360 with 120 gigabyte hard drive, $99. Slimmer, runs cooler, less power. You come out with something like that, right, for $99. It's hard to see that people who want to adopt, or grandparents, or saying some parents who wanted to buy something for their children but didn't really want to spend the money, they wouldn't be attracted to something like that. So I have to think that Microsoft is coming out with the Stingray later this year because they want to continue to make money with Xbox. There's hundreds of titles available. You go to GameStop, online, Target, all of these stores have tons of Xbox 360 titles that are in the wing. Now, Microsoft does have a reputation, and this is the same thing they did with Xbox. They have a reputation of not supporting their console after another console is launched. So we're going to have to wait to see how Microsoft responds with the 360. Are they going to continue to support it, after the launch of Durango, or are they going to abandon it like they did the original Xbox? Once the 360 hit the store shelves, Microsoft publicly said that they would no longer support the Xbox. And that's why the Xbox died so quickly, because if you're not going to support it, no new titles, people aren't really going to buy it. And so then you could pick it up for the price of a postage stamp at GameStop after a while. So we're going to wait and see if Microsoft, all of these things are actually what they're going to do. Now, none of this announcement really is shocking. None of it is really like, oh man, this is something we didn't expect. I mean, when it comes to Microsoft and what we as gamers expect for or from a new system, this is not anything that I would say is like, oh man, this is groundbreaking. This is not groundbreaking stuff. This is not anything new. This is just what we expected from this next system that Microsoft is bringing. This is the minimum stuff we expected Microsoft to have. Stuff that makes sense. As a matter of fact, if they didn't do, wouldn't make much sense. Now, the always-on situation, that's something that I am not necessarily a fan of, because I need to make sure the power consumption is there. I mean, I need to make sure that this system is not just going to eat juice for breakfast, and my electric bill is just going to skyrocket, because many gamers, we're not rolling in dough. We like games, we like technology, but many of us gamers, we're not rolling in dough, and so we can't pay exorbitant electric bills just because they want to come out with a different version, or an always-on machine that's gonna eat juice for breakfast. So we're gonna have to wait and see. Now, one of the other things that the 360 or the 720 or whatever they're naming the next Xbox, Durango, One of the other features that we were able to find, we were able to dig up and find, is that the Xbox Durango or 720 may have DVR-like video capturing abilities. According to a report by GameStop, Microsoft's next Xbox will feature a DVR-like video capture capability, according to sources in Polygon. In a similar way, the PlayStation 4, the confirmed but yet unannounced next generation Xbox, will reportedly allow players to capture and share video highlights of gameplay. These video clips can be reportedly be sent to friends through social networks like Ustream, YouTube, Facebook, stuff like that. According to Polygon sources, the next Xbox will capture and record gameplay in the same way a DVR would, allowing users to go back and pick out desirable pieces of footage. This function can reportedly be turned on and off, and can even be set automatically to record when specific in-game events take place, like headshots or limb shots, or if you're fighting like an ultimate 5 combo move and stuff like that. The PS4 asset sharing feature are made possible through the DualShock 4's share button. The new controller for the PS4 has a share button that you can use to share your content with. And though Polygon sources had no indication of how such an offering might work on the next Xbox, details are still being considered, but they're not finalized yet. And this is something that we really, as gamers, this is something that we really want. To be honest with you, this is something that we want, because I mean, to be able to share with your friends different shots that you did, whether it be a headshot or whether it's a certain move, that you're doing, to be able to share that with your friends has always been, it's always been a challenge. You had to have your TV set up where you can record. Matter of fact, you had to basically purposely set the things up to record, and then you would go and play, and you hopefully get a headshot, or you hopefully get the move that you're looking for, or if you're in a racing game or whatever, and you did, a sick move, a sick turn, or something like that, and you want that captured. It's hard really to capture that when you're planning to capture it, you see? And so for them to put this, if they can put this DVR-like ability into the next Xbox, to where I can play, I can set it up to record certain types of moves, or I can just have it on and it just records, and erases if it needs memory, but it just records constantly while I'm playing. If I do a sick move that's like, whoo, something you just cannot duplicate when you try to duplicate it, that's really going to be the advantage of having this DVR-like situation in the 360 or the 720 when it comes out. Because for many of us gamers, we do these moves, or when you get that shot, or that kill at the right position, you can't go back and say, oh, let me set it up to record, let me duplicate it. You just can't duplicate that, So Microsoft is really going to hit some fans if they can bring this thing out and announce it either at E3 or on their May 21st announcement, when they're going to announce what the 360 is going to do. If they can bring this feature out, they will have, in my opinion, a leg up on what Sony is doing with the PS4, because this is a big feature for gamers. For those of you that are gamers out there, you know what I'm talking about, man. You want to share this thing with your friends. You're like, oh man, that thing is sick. So-and-so can't do that. And I want to show them, how I did that or whatnot. And you have no way of sharing that other than you say, oh, okay, let me go and set up my DVD burner. Let me set it up to record, and then you try and duplicate it. And, it might look good to me because I hadn't seen it. But when you saw the original that you did, oh, man, I just wish you could see this original one I did. It was better than that. Now, you don't have to worry about that. Now you have, well, hopefully, if this rumor that we're hearing is true, coming out of the Microsoft camp, the DVR capability that allows you to record gameplay, gameplay as you're playing, and you can set it to record certain things. Like you could set it and say, if I get record every time I get a head kill shot, or record every time I get a stealth takedown, or record every time, you know what I'm saying, my car does a flip in the air or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You could set it to record whatever you wanted to record, and when you set it that way, anytime that happens in the game, boom, automatic recording. You'll just see it saying recorded. And then now you can take that snippet and send that to your friends and say, check this out. You can't duplicate that. Boom. And they see right away what you did. They see right away how a stage they couldn't get past. You showed them how you just slickly got past that stage with no problem. You know, you're playing a game like Splinter Cell, or you're playing Drake's Fortune. You know, and you have to get past some guards, or you have to do something like that, and you're able to come up with a way to do it that's just cool. 1, 2, 3 combo, just like that. And you're like, oh, man, look at that. You know what I'm saying? It records it right away. So this is going to be something good. That if Microsoft can do this, this is going to be something something that you know, is going to be good for us to see.
This is going to be good for soccer players.
Oh yeah, there you go. You can say every time I get a head goal, or every time I do a bicycle kick, whatever, you set it to, or you just set it to record, period. Just set it to record, and when you do that behind the back, you know what I'm saying, ball between this, that, and the next thing, and then you end it with a scissor kick goal, there's no way to say, oh, man, let me set up the recorder again, and then try and do that same thing again. There's no way. There's nothing like in the moment you're playing, and then it just happens, you see? And that's something you just can't. I mean, that's just going to add another dimension to gamers.
That's why we have Pulse E-Media, My Occasion Live. Being in the moment.
In the moment. When being in the moment is priceless, that's My Occasions Live. You're watching us right here. Now, speaking of you know, new technology and stuff, we were talking about Delete Motion and how they have signed a deal with HP. Well, even though this is not something that Leap Motion can deal with yet, but HP just came out with their new Slate tablet. So for those of you looking for a cheap tablet, the Slate HP Slate 7 goes on sale, you see, this week. You know, starting at $170. So if you're looking for, now it's a 7-inch tablet, right? So this is really geared to compete with the Kindles, with the Nexus 7s, you know what I'm saying, of the world, and it's from HP. You see what I'm saying? So the HP Slate has launched its latest tablet, the Slate 7, which is available for purchase on its website as well. The 7-inch Android tablet is a mid-level tablet that is all about price, affordability. It also features integrated Beats audio, you know, by Dre, processing. So, you know, music is supposed to sound pretty decent on this thing. There are 2 factors that should make this thing attractive to buyers. The cheap price and the fact that it has decent sound. Because, you know, a lot of tablets, the sound is not great. It's not bad, but a lot of tablets, the sound is not great. A lot of the people put the speakers on the bottom of the tablets, which I can, to this day, I just can't understand why a design engineer would design the sound to be on the part of the tablet that's going to be covered up. In other words, the tablet is either going to be in my lap, it's going to be on the table. Why put the speakers on the back of the unit so when I have it laying down, the sound is muffled? Or, yeah, I mean, come on. You know, I mean, put it on the sides. I mean, on the top. Look at the HTC One. They have 2 stereo speakers on the front of the phone. That's why people are raving about the HTC One. 2 stereo speakers, one on the bottom and one on the top and on the front. You're never going to have your phone face down for the most part.
Yeah.
So you want to hear, and with these tablets, I just don't get it. The developers constantly put the speakers under the tablet, and then when I rest it in my lap and I'm listening to it, I can't hear it.
And they refuse to do anything.
And that's the thing about it. It's not like they're saying, "Oh man, you know, that's a mistake." It can't only be me that sees the problem with this. You know, I mean, it's just common sense. Put the speakers on the top or on the side. Don't always assume I'm going to use my earbuds. You know, sometimes I don't want to use my earbuds. I just want to hear. So come on, companies, put these things where they're supposed to be. You see? Now, the Slate 7 Ultra features a stainless steel frame. It has an ARM dual-core Cortex A9 processor in it. It's clocked at, I think, 1.6 gigahertz, so not crazy fast, but it's decent enough for, you know, light work. It has a rear facing camera, a 3 megapixel, and a front camera that's only VGA, so I mean, it's not good quality. I guess if you're trying to just do some video conferencing or something like that, it's adequate, but certainly, you know, not to take any snapshots. And the 3 megapixel rear facing camera is not that great either, so this is why it's on that lower price point. The Slate 7's display uses a high aperture ratio field fringe switching, is what they call it, panel, to improve viewing angles as well. We don't know what the resolution of it is. I would hope it's at least 720p, but we don't know. But according to sources, they want to make it to where you can see the tablet at various angles without getting that glare, to where you have to be dead in front of it. Otherwise, you know, you can't see anything. So if you're looking for a cheap tablet, and the design of it is nothing revolutionary. Let me show you here real quick. The design is nothing revolutionary. It's a mid-range, mid-price tablet. So if you're looking for something that's not going to break the bank at $170, I would personally wait until the Nexus 7 II comes out, because that's rumored to be coming out 7-inch for $149 by Google this summer. It's coming out, so if you have to have a tablet, you just can't wait. I must have something, you know. Devin is saying he can't wait. He's got to have a tablet today, now. You know what I'm saying? Then you may want to check out the Slate. You know, as you can see, the design is really unimpressive. It's nothing that, you know, we haven't seen. The front, you know, the side. It's a standard tablet, you know, but it has enough. Depending on what you're going to do, it has enough beef in it to, you know, be an adequate second tablet, a second unit. If you're giving this to your child or something like that, you know, it's a decent tablet, you know, but don't expect it to rock your world or just blow you out of the universe. If you really want a good, cheaper tablet and you can wait, the Nexus 7 II coming out, $149. They're saying $199, but they're hoping to hit that price point of $149. And if anybody can do it, it's Google, because Google.
Well, what is going to be the change? Do you know? I mean, I'm putting
with the
you
Nexus
on the spot.
7.
Yeah.
Oh, they haven't released much information about the Nexus 7 as far as what they're going to do, features, upgrades. I'm thinking Google is going to announce that maybe a month before they're about to release. Then they're going to announce it, but they haven't really announced. But I'm assuming better resolution. I'm assuming a faster processor, because they really want to compete with the iPod Mini. And the next iPod Mini is going to, they say it's going to have Retina display, meaning that high resolution, you know, and stuff like that. That's just one of the features Apple say they're going to have. So I'm assuming they're trying to compete with that. So they're going to have to up the resolution. But for $149 though, I don't know.
That's amazing.
Yeah, for $149, I'm thinking they're going to have minimum 1080p display, 1960 by 1080. You know, minimum, I'm thinking.
Price, man.
At that price?
For real?
And then with the Mini coming out at minimum $299, minimum for the bare bones Mini. You know, that's just, you know, that Google is just gonna blow that away. So we have to wait and see. Yeah, they haven't come out with the full specs of what they're coming out with the Nexus 7 II. They haven't come out with that yet. But when they do, I'm expecting to see it compete with the iPod Mini, and I'm expecting it to sell much more units than the.
It probably comes with electrical supply that you have to like pedal or something like that. You pushing that faster, you go
pedal
to
it in
power.
order.
Goes to the
No battery, huh?
no
It just
battery,
comes with a
just
portable.
electrical, you know.
Because they're saying if we're coming out at that price, something has to be cut.
Something's got to give. I mean, I'm hoping not.
Yeah.
But, you know, it just sounds.
I mean, it has to be minimum. Minimum, it has to live up to what the Nexus 7 is now. And there's no point in coming out with a machine that's the same as what you have.
And it's a good machine.
It's a good machine.
I like this
So
machine.
I guarantee you Google has something up their sleeve. You know, they're not going to. And then, with their acquisition of Wavy, you know what I'm saying, that they bought, that's that app that takes information off the web, summarizes it, and their own voice assistant.
That's probably,
I think they're going to build that into the Nexus 7.
You know what I'm thinking is that they're saying that price point, the $40 or $50 that they're going to lose,
right?
They're going to make it back on. They're already making it back on the apps,
right?
Because people are buying apps like
crazy. Yeah.
And so the value of putting in your hands the access to the app is more important than
making the money up front.
Yes,
because they're going to make it on the back end.
They're going to
easily.
make it on the back end.
Yeah, easily. And I think that's a strategy that Google is trying to do, because if they come out at $149, I think even Apple enthusiasts would think twice.
Twice, yes.
Because the Nexus 7 has been...
4 times.
Oh, yeah.
Not
even
twice.
Yeah.
Because I'm sorry to cut you, but I'm saying I can buy one for Ariana.
Right. At that price.
It would be worth it.
Exactly. At that price. And with the apps that Google Store has, you're not losing anything.
I can buy 2 for the price of an Apple.
Of a bare bones.
Bare bones.
Not even top of the line iPad mini. You were talking bare bones mini.
No
starting.
Flesh.
No flesh. Just bones on it. Starting at $299. So I think if Google can do that, even the Apple enthusiasts would, because the Nexus 7 has been rated as one of the top 7-inch tablets, even outpacing Kindle.
I love
and
it.
the Amazon Kindle, everybody knows is a good tablet. There's nobody that will say, oh, that's no. It's a good, cheap tablet to come out with that people love. And the Nexus 7 just really captured that and did more with it at $199. So for Google to say our next iteration is going to be cheaper. Whew. So what is the original Nexus 7 going to be? $99?
Man.
Can you imagine that?
Yeah.
So the original Nexus 7 now is $99.
I'll be giving those as gifts.
Christmas is now just made a lot easier by Google. And speaking of Google, the headset Google Glass, as you know, has been released. We're doing a little bit of updates here. The Google Glass has been released, and no sooner than it had released than a developer, Google Glass headset, as soon as it was released, was rooted, or for those of you who don't understand that term, hacked by a developer named Jay Freeman, known as, I don't even know how you pronounce it, it's S-A-U-R-I-K. S-A-U-R-I-K. You know what I'm saying? That's his hacker tag. You know what I'm saying? That he goes by. And he had jailbroken or hacked iPhones and iPads and stuff like that. And he said that he gained access. He hacked Google Glass to where he gained access to a level where he could theoretically prevent Google from jailbreaking the device should he lend it to anybody.
Are you serious?
Yep. And the guy released it. He said that he could prevent Google from breaking the glass if he hacked it to that level. No sooner did this thing come out for developers.
Didn't we say that?
Yeah, that this thing is gonna happen. You can't stop people from using the system the way they want it to.
They better thank this guy, because he's gonna up sales. He's gonna up sales because people are gonna go, okay, so at least I know now that they can't stop me.
Right.
So I'll buy it.
Because can you imagine buying something knowing that if you make any wrong move, Google is going to break the system?
That's totally ridiculous.
Freeman confirmed that the Glass runs on Android 4.04 and gained access using existing exploits for that version of the mobile operating system within a few hours of having his hands on the unit. He said, quote, "It took me 2 hours while I was having dinner with my friends at the time," Freeman said, to break the Google encryption. "I learned how the exploit worked and then did the same thing on Google Glass," he said, "for me, which was quite simple." So right away, this guy sounds like, he's taunting Google now. Yeah.
Arrogant.
Yeah, he sounds like he's taunting Google now, which may not be a good idea for the rest of us. You know what I'm saying? Because now Google is going to say, oh man, this guy broke into this thing quick. You know what I'm saying? He broke into this thing.
Over dinner.
With friends.
Tied behind.
Yeah, with friends. He said, not just he was having dinner, but maybe you eating in one hand and then you doing, no. He said dinner with friends. He was chilling.
He was distracted.
He was distracted.
Yeah.
And he broke it within only 2 hours, is what he's trying to say. You see, so this guy, He said, while this could stop the Google Glass from being bricked for violating the policy, we aren't sure what else you can do with Google Glass with that hack that he did. Freeman says that the glass could be made to store data on the device itself or on a nearby phone connected with Bluetooth instead of sending the data to Google. So he said instead of sending the data, he did it to where he would just, the information, because the glass is automatically sending information to Google. That's how they know where it is and what, like the GPS, the locator, that's how they know where it is and so forth. He bricked it to where it will send the data, but it will send it to where he wanted to go. So if he wanted to go to his phone, if he wants it to go to his server or his computer hard drive, anything connected to Bluetooth, he just send it there and Google will never get the information. And that Google Glass is just lost.
We need to hire somebody.
We need to find out what this guy's resume is.
Yeah, we need to. I don't know how we're gonna use him, but
but definitely, he definitely.
We need him on our side.
On the side of the consumer, not on the side of big business. So this is something that, what I'm saying, it sounds like he's a bit cocky with his discovery, but hopefully this will help Google to see that it just doesn't make sense to do what they're doing because really Google is encouraging this, in my opinion, because when you come out with a product that I have to pay $1,500 for, then you tell me you can't lend it, you can't let someone borrow it, you can't sell it, you can't look at it, you can't watch it, you can't do anything with it other than wear it. And we're going to get the information, and so we can tell if you've lent it to anybody. And if you do, we reserve the right to make your Google Glass not obsolete, to make it to where it doesn't work anymore. After I paid $1,500 for it, that just doesn't make any sense. How can you decide how I use a product that I bought with my money? You see what I'm saying? And stuff like this is just going to happen more and more unless Google decides to, lighten up. Come on, you're selling a piece of technology. Granted, I get it that this is high-tech stuff and you want to, you want to make sure that competitors don't copy your technology. I get that. Yeah. But once you release it to the masses, you lose the right to tell me what to do if I paid money for it. If you're giving it free to the masses, rent it, that's different. But if you're charging me full price,
$5 a month for the next 200 years.
Right, exactly, or whatever. Then you can say, well, you don't own it yet, whatnot. But nah, man, you can't come up with that. And if they keep that up, more guys like this. Matter of fact, and probably the reason why this guy is so cocky with it is because he's trying to tell Google, you're coming out with all this restriction. I break the system easy. You know what I'm saying? So what you got to say about that? And this is going to be more and more prevalent if Google keeps up with this this desire to keep consumers limited with what they could do with the system. Now, speaking of companies that are trying to do things bigger and better, T-Mobile came out with that contract offer. They're $50, that prepaid. Well, they came up with that, and now it seems like they're in some hot water because of that promotion.
Somebody own the rights to that concept?
No, but according to a Washington State Attorney General, he said that T-Mobile, not he said, but T-Mobile has been ordered by a Washington State Attorney General to correct alleged deceptive advertising that promises a no strings attached wireless service plan. They're saying that what T-Mobile came out with, they're saying that it's misleading. According to the report that was released to CNET, contrary to what T-Mobile is promising, there's actually some strings attached to its new wireless service plan. That's according to the Washington State Attorney General Bob Ferguson, who ordered T-Mobile to change its alleged deceptive advertising, what he calls it, that omits the charges that consumers will have to pay for leaving early on their month-to-month plan. He said, my office identified that T-Mobile was failing to disclose a critical component of their new plan to consumers. And we acted quickly to stop this practice and protect customers across the country from harm. He's saying that Freeman took issue with the component of the plan that involves consumers paying full price for their smartphones. He said if the customers opt for the monthly installment plan, they have to pay a small fee on top of their cellular service to cover the cost of the device. But if they leave early, they need to immediately pay for the full cost of the phone, of the device or the phone, which Ferguson said is a surprise balloon payment for a lot of customers that didn't know that. He said in some cases the price is higher than the early termination fee that you would get from having a regular cell phone plan. And he said that he believes that T-Mobile has failed to properly communicate this potential large payment to customers, making them feel that if you sign on with this $50, this $20 a month, you pay $99 down, and then $20 a month or whatever they have for the phone until you pay it off. People feel that they do this, but let's say they decide to leave, and they say, well, let me leave, return the phone. No, you have to pay. If you leave the plan, you have to pay the full price. You have to pay, the rest of the phone. Then you have to pay termination fees, which they're saying could add up to be more than if you had a plan and terminated the fee, and they're not properly disclosing that. So this is something that a lot of companies do when they're trying to get people in the door. They leave certain things out, and I hope T-Mobile really learned their lesson, and other companies that might be considering doing this type of thing. Because if you're going to come out with something and you're making customers feel that, look, we're making new technology available to you at a cheaper price. We're coming out with this prepaid plan to where you just, no commitment. There's no commitment whatsoever. And if you can't afford the phone, go ahead, Devin.
No, I think they're not lying. It's a prepay plan.
It's a prepaid plan?
Yeah. Before you really pay.
Before.
That's what they're talking about. They're giving you a plan.
It's a prepaid plan.
Yeah, it's before you really pay. They're gonna pay. They're gonna make you pay. Just not yet.
Just not yet.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Prepaid.
They didn't lie.
You are
it's
prepaid.
A
so
prepaid
they weren't deceptive.
Yeah.
They told us you're going to prepay before you pay.
Before you really pay.
And according to the report, the lawsuit underscores the difficulties that T-Mobile has in selling its new plan, which abandoned the traditional contract subsidiary that they had. Executives have said that they expect to have a discussion over the nature of the wireless phone plan and hope to educate customers on the true cost of the smartphone. While T-Mobile plans may offer savings over the span of 2 years, they run into consumers who balk at paying the full price of the phone up front because they're thinking, rather than pay $596 or whatever it is for the iPhone 5, paying $99 right away and then $20 a month is a good thing, and as long as they know that that they're going to be clear that if they stop paying or if they decide to break their contract because see, the point of having no contract is to have no contract. You know what I'm saying? Not to have a contract for no contract. Then you still have a contract. It's kind of like these churches that come out and say that they're non-denominational. That doesn't make any sense. That is a denomination. The mere fact that you categorize yourself, that is a denomination. That's something. Non-denominational in its true sense means that you have no category. But you have to fit into some category. You know what I'm saying? There's no church that can be, in other words, you have no category. Then what church can you be? Human. You have to fit into something. You see, so when T-Mobile says that they have a no contract plan, that you have to sign a contract saying that if you break it, then we charge you, that's a contract, so they're hoping that the carrier would also clear up the true cost of the phone as well as the obligation to carry the 24-month financing plan if chosen. And the customer sales representatives are also under obligation to disclose the term of the contract, because they said that there's no contract now. You're signing a contract. So it is kind of misleading the way it's set up. Because customers who purchase a T-Mobile plan, a phone between March 26th and April 25th, around there about, can get a full refund according to T-Mobile for the device and cancel their service plan without any penalty. I mean, you're not really saying anything now because you've been ordered by a court that you have to do it. So, that's not, you're not giving anybody anything by doing that. You're just doing what you're ordered to do. So T-Mobile really, hopefully other companies out there realize, and if you're someone, because at first when we heard about this plan here on Tech Pulse, because we talked about it, it was a good plan. People were like, oh man, $50 and then you just pay. Yeah, we were excited about it. $99 for an iPhone 5 and then you just pay $20 a month on top of whatever prepaid plan you decide to go with. So if you decide to go with a $30 prepaid plan, then you pay $30 plus the extra $20, so that's $50 a month, all fees covered. You know what I'm saying? They never said anything about having to sign a contract that if you broke that agreement, you would have to pay XYZ, which in turn would be a contract. So hopefully companies like T-Mobile and companies just out there, coming out with these plans, hopefully Microsoft is listening, with their Xbox Live service that they're saying $299 plus a 2-year subscription to Xbox Live at $10 per month, which works out to be another $240 that I have to pay. Hopefully Microsoft, is going to take this into account and try to be transparent with what they're trying to plan. Don't try to make it look like it's cheaper. Be upfront. Don't make it look like, well, we're selling a $299 Xbox when the Xbox requires you to be internet connected. You have to be internet connected off the bat. So not only I spent $299, but now you're forcing me to get a 2-year subscription to Xbox Live at $10 per month, which off the bat, that's another $240, right? So my total cost is going to be $540. So for me to use that $299 machine, they're going to make it to where maybe you don't have to hook it up in the store. Maybe you can just buy the machine. But when you get home and you connect this machine to the internet, Microsoft will know what version of the machine you have through your connectivity. And then they're going to say, subscription required. Xbox Live subscription required. And if you don't put your credit card in to get that subscription for 2 years, you can't use the system.
You can't just say no.
You just can't say no. You must say yes. So hopefully this latest T-Mobile court action is something that companies out there will realize that, hey, we have to be a little bit more upfront with the things that we do. We can't just do this stuff behind the scenes and hope that nobody notices. Well, let's take a quick break here to talk about something that we here at Pulse E-Media have been talking about for a while. We're going to be covering this event called Expressions, and that is Unique Creations by Liz. You've heard us talk about this here on Tech Pulse. Unique Creations by Liz is a event planning company. They do all kinds of events: weddings, funerals, birthdays, graduations, any kind of event you can name. Unique Creations is there, and they cover those not cover, but they can help you prepare. These are just some of the things that they have been involved in, some of the events that they have put together. And one of the events that they are putting together right now that we're talking about is Expressions, a Caribbean American exhibition. This is the 4th annual multicultural showcase of the Expressions Caribbean American exhibition put on by Unique Creations by Liz. Here at this exhibition, you can promote your products and your services. If you're a business and you want to get more exposure and you want to get more recognition to your brand and to your business, there'll be networking opportunities. There's going to be hundreds of people there live at the event, June 6th. It's a Thursday, 2013, from 5 to 9 p.m. There's going to be reggae, soca, R&B. We're going to have saxophonists. We're going to have violinists. You can enter to win a getaway at the Renaissance Hotel, several dinners for two, baskets with Caribbean products in them. There's going to be gift certificates, raffles, giveaways, show offers, food, admission is free, parking is free. This is going to be, if you're interested in being a vendor at this event, call Liz at Unique Creations by Liz. Call Liz at 954-292-6848. Also 954-435-4717. Ask to speak to Liz, and she can give you all the information you need if you're a vendor looking to increase your product brand and you want to be a part of this event. Call Liz. And also, if you're a regular person and you just want to come and have some fun and find out what new businesses out there, what products and services out there, you're welcome to join us. It's Thursday, June 6th, 2013, from 5 to 9 p.m. 9 p.m. It's going to be held at the Inverary Vacation Resort at 3501 Inverary Boulevard, Lauderhill, Florida, 33319. And we want to thank Unique Creations by Liz for their support of Tech Pulse and Pulse E-Media. And we will see you there June 6th. All right, let's get right back into the news now. We talked a while about CISPA, that Senate hearing that was going before the Senate that would allow the government to get all the information they wanted from companies like Google on you and me. And I know a lot of you are looking for an update on what happened. You know, did that thing pass? Did it go? Well, it looks like CISPA is a dead act right now. CISPA is dead in the Senate. So worrying about the privacy concerns that this would bring is reportedly dead now. According to a chairman of a key Senate committee, he cited there was insufficient privacy protection in the cybersecurity bill recently passed by the House. A new report says that the Senate is drafting separate bills, but for right now, the Senate will almost certainly kill the controversial cybersecurity bill recently passed by the House, according to a U.S. Senate committee member. So committee aide told sources on Thursday that Rockefeller believes the Senate will not take up CISPA, and the White House has also said the president won't sign the bill, the House bill. So for those of us that were following this, what was going on now, what CISPA would have done, as I said earlier, it would allow the government to get information from any company, whether it be Google, whether it be Target, whether it be Apple. If they felt that they needed to have information for any reason, these companies would have to give them, and you wouldn't know anything about it. They could take this information without informing you that they have all your information that Google has collected on you over the years, that Apple has collected on you over the years. They could do that, and there's nothing you could have done about it. According to this report, CISPA, the bill, the Senate is not going to sign it, and the president has been, they've learned, the president also said he was not going to sign that cybersecurity bill. So this is good news for those of us that really believe that the government should not have that kind of power to just take your information without a warrant, without any kind of just cause. And when I say just cause, it doesn't mean that terrorism and stuff isn't just cause. But at the same time, if you suspect someone, you have to go through the proper legal channels, which means you have to go and get a search warrant so that you can go out and legally say that, okay, I have a search warrant to search your house, or to have this information from Google, or whatever it might be. And then the information needs to be, more specific. In other words, if you have 5 people that you need information on, that's fine. You can't just get access to Google's entire database because you just want to have it all. Stuff like this is what takes away freedoms that we have. And it's good news to know that the Senate decided against, even though the House passed it, the Senate decided that they're not passing it, and even the president himself said that he's not going to sign the CISPA bill. So that's good news for those of us in the technology age. And I mean, Devin, what do you think about this latest that Obama is not going to? He was not going to give a voice to this kind of bill that gave the government that much more power over the people.
Well, I think he recognizes the big hole that would be open,
Right.
By giving away that much power. It would be a dangerous thing, and it just makes sense that we limit, as we said here on Tech Pulse, that this is just power being, garnered and
for no real legitimate,
legitimate
reason. Because if you suspect me as a terrorist, that shouldn't affect other people that are in the same group. So I have a Google account, and the government suspects me as a terrorist. Why should everyone else suffer? Because the government suspects me.
But they can go after you specifically.
Right.
They don't need to generally investigate everybody. They can,
but
they have the power.
This bill would allow them to do that.
Yeah.
It would have allowed them to say, okay, this guy has a Google account. Give us your whole database because we want to make sure he's not connected. That's what they'll say. We want to make sure he's not connected to the other billion users that you have. And so Google would have to give it, and then no one would know. The customer, Google, would not be obligated to tell their customers, we had to give your data to the government. No, government could take it, and you can't know that happened. You see,
and they would not need any specific, reason
to do it. If they felt they needed to do it, they could do it.
This way, it gives them. They have to be specific, and they have to say we have legitimate reasons to believe.
And they still have to get a search warrant.
Court order.
Right, a court order. Oh yeah, they have to get a court order for that exactly, which is to me you
I just know about that because of TV. In case you're wondering,
not that it actually happened to you or anything. Watching Law and Order and stuff like that. You pick up a few legal terms.
There you go. Yeah. Court order.
So you heard that first here on Tech Pulse. So we're happy that this was nixed, and it just makes sense. It just makes sense to keep that kind of power out of the government's hands. And speaking of companies acquiring power, Facebook, according to a report, just they acquired a company called Parse. Now, Parse was founded in about 2 years ago by a small group of seasoned people who worked at Google, Googlers and Y Combinator alums who got together to build a useful set of back-end tools for mobile developers. They originally called their back-end service Heroku. That's what they originally called it, a mobile of the mobile, in a homage to what was one of YC's biggest exits to date. And the $212 million sale of Heroku to Salesforce.com, they offer services that help mobile developers store data in the cloud, manage identity logins, handle push notifications, and run custom codes in the cloud. That is what Parse did. And Facebook reportedly bought the company for $85 million. They bought Parse for $85 million, and neither company really commented on the size of the deal, except Facebook says it's not material. And for more on the long-term impact of Parse on Facebook business, they're going to have some extra information, coming out about that. But Facebook won the deal amid what sources heard was a competitive process with many other Silicon Valley's other biggest potential buyers. And Parse CEO and co-founder Ilya Shukar said that he chose Facebook over the other suitors without naming who the other suitors were because the company was a better cultural fit. So we see Facebook trying to bolster its development app situation because Parse is as we know, as we said earlier, it is a a back-end mobile device back-end service, offering companies or whoever uses their developer app, allows developers to store data in the cloud, manage identity, login, stuff like that, push notifications. You know, when you download an app, you're about to use an app, you get a push notification. You know, stuff like that, and login information that you use in anything. You know, whether you're logging into your email or you're logging into a Google account. You know, there's a software, there's an algorithm behind that, and that is what Parse, that is what they did. And this shows to me that, you know, Facebook and release of Facebook Home, remember, since Home is going to take over your Android device, sit on top of your Android operating system, Home has the ability to collect the information that you put into it. In other words, whatever apps you frequent, whatever apps you use a lot, Facebook Home takes a note of that and sends that information over to Facebook. And Facebook then can start building apps that mimic the ones you use, so therefore Facebook can try to lure you away from the Android apps and start having you use their apps. And in order for them to really build apps properly, a company like Parse is what they need. They need someone on the back end who knows how to build these apps, who knows how to build apps that deal with identity logins, that deal with push notifications, that would allow the app to take control or whatever push notification they wanted to send your way. Run customer codes in the cloud, you know, the information that you have stored in the cloud, able to run that as well. So Facebook is really positioning themselves to really make Facebook Home what they wanted it to be, which is an all-in-one service where everything you do is wrapped around Facebook. According to an interview that was done with Facebook, they said that they don't think any other conversations created anywhere near the excitement level that we had for Facebook when they were talking to Parse. And why Parse? Facebook is in a big push to become more relevant than ever to mobile developers, especially with the advent of Facebook Home. And it doesn't own its own mobile OS. Facebook doesn't have its own, well, it has a mobile, well, no, it doesn't have a mobile operating system. It has an app, but it doesn't have a mobile operating system. That's why they came out with that Facebook Home. It's not really an OS. It's kind of more like a launcher, but it's not, it doesn't dictate how your phone operates, as far as that will still be the Android OS that that dictates all of your phone's functions and its operations. But what Home does is sit on top of it. It sits on top of it, and then it learns all the things that you're doing, so that it Facebook can get better information. And they don't own their own mobile OS like Apple or like Google, and it doesn't make its own devices. Facebook doesn't have any products in terms of devices, electronic devices out there. So with a company like this, instead, it's a horizontal social and identity layer that runs through thousands of apps of iOS and Android in deep custom integrations in devices made by hardware makers like HTC in its latest project with Facebook Home. So we see that this is what Facebook is trying to do. They're trying to, I think, position themselves to be more competitive, because when you have companies like Google, when you have companies like Apple, when you have companies like Amazon even, and now Yahoo is coming back, Facebook sees that they need to do, and even Twitter is trying to do different things, coming out with their own music app and their own music service and stuff like that. Facebook is trying to position themselves to be able to stay competitive with companies like these. So it's going to be interesting to see in the upcoming months, you know what I'm saying, this deal with Parse. It's going to be interesting to see how far Facebook can really push this, because I mean, even Apple and Yahoo are teaming up with Yahoo's acquisition of Sumly and Apple's technology with Siri. You know, the two are trying to come together to see exactly what both of their technologies could do to help one another. And so we're gonna have to see what Facebook does as far as, you know, as far as with this acquisition. They paid $85 million for this company, so we're gonna have to wait and see what benefits that brings to the Facebook world, especially with Facebook Home selling about, not selling, but getting about 100,000 signups, 100,000 signups a day, which was the last report that came out that Facebook said they got about 100,000 signups a day for the first 5 days of the release of Facebook Home. So we have to wait and see if that's still the trend. But they're clearly not sitting on their laurels. They're trying to make sure that they stay competitive, because, you know, in this world, in this with the way technology is, you have to stay competitive. Otherwise, you just fall by the wayside. And that's why companies like Google, with their Android division, according to a report, Android, which obviously we know is owned by Google, is coming out with their own notebook computers. Now, I don't know what Google hopes to really accomplish with this, since Google already has a successful tablet, the Nexus 7, but this laptop or notebook that they're coming out with, I mean, this thing really, it really looks cheap, you know. And according to the sources, the Android notebook will be coming soon, and they will push the envelope in notebook pricing down as low as $200, according to an Intel executive vice president and chief product officer. Now, that's good news for anyone on a budget, but I mean, it just looks cheap. The Intel chief executive officer just said last week that the touchscreen computers could launch in the next few months around $200. And we aren't sure what kind of software these machines will run on, but we know that the majority will be Android devices running on an Intel Atom Silicon processor. As far as Windows 8 notebooks at those price points, remember Microsoft said they were going to do that. We have to wait and see. But definitely Android is saying that their machines, their touchscreen machines, will come in at $200. But just looking at a picture of this thing, and I'm going to show it to you, looking at a picture of this thing, I think this looks cheap. You know, so for $200, I mean, it looks like it looks like a toy, almost, you know, basically, to say the least. So I don't know what Google is thinking about trying to get into the PC world, which is fine. But, I mean, using Android, and you already have a number of Android devices as far as the Nexus 7 tablet and stuff like that, which can give you a good computer experience. Here's a picture of it. Here's what it looks like. This is going to be the Android notebook they have coming out, $200 right there. I mean, unimpressive for people on a budget, I guess. You know, but we're going to have to wait to see what kind of specs, because if it's running on an Intel Atom processor, you know, that's the same processor they used to use for netbooks. And everybody knows netbooks were notoriously slow to boot up. They were notoriously slow when it came to downloading stuff. It just didn't have, I mean, it had the memory, but it didn't have the processor power necessary to be really productive, which is why nobody talks about netbooks anymore. You don't even see them, because netbooks were just a cheap way for companies to come out with cheap, with a cheap computer. And hopefully, this Google computer that we're seeing, hopefully this doesn't go down, down that same road.
I think it's not that the netbooks were that bad in terms of idea.
Not idea.
Yeah, I think there
was
was
hardware.
Just hardware.
Yeah.
I think that was, you know, and the fact that they didn't take CDs and
Right.
you
No
know,
optical drive. And
no
just
optical drive.
extremely slow. The
Yeah.
idea of a portable computer was always a good idea.
Yeah.
But they never fleshed it out. They just put their cheap processors in there, their cheap memory in there.
And then came
Tablets.
tablets.
See? And out went.
That's what killed them.
That's
Because if there wasn't a tablet, we would still be hearing about netbooks.
yeah. But the tablets came out and they had better processors.
Yeah.
But it just shows
That
you
didn't make any sense,
that the
though.
companies invested in that.
Yeah.
It's not that netbooks couldn't be good.
Yeah.
They just never invested in it, and so that's why netbooks just couldn't last, because when people said, oh, it's just to surf the web, okay, and they get this netbook, they turn it on, it takes forever to boot up. You have a 5-minute boot time. Then when it finally boots up, when you try and load a website, that's another minute or two, and people are like, oh man, I just
And then
can't.
I tell you, that's how it's supposed to be. 5-minute boot time, that's really good quality. Yeah.
You see? And so what happened was that when tablets came out, companies really put their technology into it. Faster processors, dual core. People were like, oh man, you know what I'm saying? We're going to do this, and tablets just won out, just more portable, better screens. And so I'm hoping that this Google notebook, as they put it, what makes something a notebook versus a netbook is really the optical drive. And that's why you have Ultrabooks. Ultrabooks are not notebooks in the traditional sense, because they don't have the optical drive. And so I don't see that this computer here has an optical drive space. So if it's going to just mimic with the Intel Atom processor, that's the same processors they used to use in these netbooks. If it's going to go down that same road, even at $200, I just don't see it being productive enough for a lot of people out there. So we're going to have to wait and see. I don't want to just doom it and say, because we don't know enough about it, but you're hearing right here on Tech Pulse that this is something that's going to be coming out within the next few months here, hopefully by the end of the year. Now, for those of you back in the gaming world, for those of you that are interested in Call of Duty, for those of you that know about Call of Duty, well, the next iteration of Call of Duty has been leaked. Now, we don't know if this is a purposeful leak, because any information is good information. But the next Call of Duty is supposed to be revealed on May 1st. On May 1st, this is something, according to sources, that has been leaked to GameStop. They are saying that material suggests the next entry in Activision shooter series to be announced this week coming up, May 1st. I think that's on Wednesday. Gamers looking forward to news about 2013's Call of Duty installment. Won't have to wait much longer, because according to sources, Wednesday is coming up, and they even sent a photo out that suggests promotional material for the game will be sent to stores as soon as April 29th, before it can be displayed on May 1st. On May 1st, and an early May announcement, it really matches up with last year's Call of Duty reveal, which took place on May 1st. During the NBA playoffs on TNT. That's when we saw the first commercial for Call of Duty last year. I think you had Kobe Bryant in it. You had Dwight Howard in it and stuff like that. Those people, they were in the game. As a matter of fact, Kobe Bryant took some flack for being in the game, because they're saying he was a role model and so forth. So, but the point is, that's when that game was released, and Activision has confirmed a new Call of Duty for 2013, but kept quiet on its title. The United Kingdom trailer Tesco this week posted a product listing for Call of Duty Ghosts. That's what the trailer was named, Call of Duty Ghosts, suggesting Infinity Ward is developing this year's game. Now, whatever the case, Activision does not believe this year's game will outsell Call of Duty 2, Black Ops 2. You know what I'm saying? This game is on pace to surpass the original Black Ops. Call of Duty Black Ops 2 is going to surpass the original 25 million units sold by Black Ops 1. And for those of you that played Call of Duty Black Ops 1, you know that game was a phenomenal game. The storyline, the graphics, phenomenal game to become the best-selling title in franchise history in the Call of Duty series. And Black Ops 2 is definitely on pace to beat that $25 million. So this next Call of Duty Ghost, this is not in the Black Ops series, but this is Ghost. They released a trailer for it in the UK. So let's take a look at it for those of you that are interested in seeing the next Call of Duty, because I mean that game, as all gamers know, that game was top notch when it comes to games. So let's see if we can look at this this video. Here we go. Let's look at this video right here. Okay, there you go, and we'll see what was revealed in Europe. Here we go. Let's get this sound going. Okay. See what we got here. Make sure sound is good.
It's ready.
Now, here we go.
Time for another GameSpot news update from the annals of product listings. I'm Chris. UK supermarket giant Tesco has a product listing and box art for the currently unannounced Call of Duty Ghosts. The box art features Modern Warfare character Ghost and the Infinity Ward logo, though many recent Call of Duty games have split development duties across multiple studios. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 was predominantly developed by Infinity Ward and Sledgehammer Games. A leaked image from US retailer Target has also appeared, showing a pre-order offer for the title. Both Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3 logos can be seen, and a release date of November 5th, 2013 is given. Activision declined to comment when approached by GameSpot, but when they do, we'll be sure to have the latest for you on GameSpot.com or right here on YouTube.
There you go. So that was a report that came out talking about Call of Duty Ghosts, the next in the series. You're seeing that there's not much information out there, but different stores like Target have had the image up, and companies have been getting promotional material. April 29th, that is today, have been getting that promotional material, and hopefully we're gonna see something by Wednesday, when they're gonna really reveal what's coming out as far as, you know, when this game is coming out, what options it has. Hopefully we're gonna see some video footage and whatnot. And once that video footage hits, we're definitely gonna have it right here on Tech Pulse. So don't worry about that. You know, we're gonna keep you up to date on what's coming out later this year. And speaking of things coming out, our next story deals with Apple. And according to a report, Apple's iWatch that they have been working on, rumors say, according to the report, Apple's iWatch should be hitting store shelves before the end of the year. They're saying before the end. This is just a rumor, you know. And Apple, we have a little picture to kind of show you the look of how the watch looks like it's going to be. Apple iWatch is rumored to be released before the end of the year. And one of those rumored devices that we've heard so much about is the iWatch, and it's expected to be a communicator watch for Apple iOS devices like the iPhone, iPad, you know, iPod, all that stuff. And according to a Bloomberg report, the Apple iWatch could end up being even more profitable for Apple than their rumored HD TV, that 60-inch TV that we told you about. The device is expected to be launched before the end of 2013. The Apple HD TV is also rumored to launch this year, and we know it's coming with that iRing. But we've heard that Apple has a team of around 100 designers working on the new Apple iWatch project, and it could come with a number of interesting functions, like the ability to make and receive calls, you know, like back in the day, you hello, you know, you talk right there to your wrist. Also to check directions, you know, and stuff like that. The iWatch team is rumored to be led by Apple's James Foster, who's currently the senior director of engineering, you know, at Apple. And Apple filed for, as far as we've been able to check out, Apple has filed for 79 different patents with the word wrist in it. You know what I'm saying? So one patent which was filed featured a flexible display which was powered by kinetic energy. You know what I'm saying? Moving energy. Apple CEO Tim Cook recently told shareholders that they are looking at new categories for devices, and one of those could end up being Apple's iWatch, which might just be one of Apple's most popular products if they can do this thing right. Now, you know, a lot of things that Apple does is just hits a chord with the fans, and you know, it just goes viral. You know, now we know Samsung has also been rumored to be working on an Android powered watch to communicate with their Galaxy S devices and stuff like that, and we suspect we can see this launch before the end of the year too, and Samsung could end up being Apple's main competition as far as watches are concerned, even though LG also say that they're working on something similar to that. And remember, LG had a watch back in 2009 that didn't do well, and if they do decide to release a similar device, they have certainly given, you know, Apple and the iPhone a bit of competition with their Galaxy line. So Apple might be, you know, watching Samsung a bit if Samsung also busts out with an iWatch. Now let me show you a picture of what this thing is going to look like. Not necessarily stylish, but you know, when people see, it's definitely going to turn heads as far as people looking at it and trying to wonder what this is. You see, so let me show you a picture of what we're looking at here for the iWatch. You know, you're looking at that. That's a small picture. So let's I'll give you a bigger shot. There we go, right there. That's going to be the iWatch interface right there. You know, you have it on your wrist. You can see the time is nice and bright. The traditional slide to unlock is right there, and the touch screen of it. We don't know exactly how that's going to play out, but we do have something that has been developed, especially for typing when it comes to typing on wristwatch type screen. So this is the Apple device. So let's show you, and this is what's rumored to be coming out this year, and it's going to be like a phone, you know, able to make and receive calls right from your watch. You see what I'm saying? So you're going to be able to talk like this, you know, or if you have Bluetooth connectivity or something like that, you know, you're going to be able to do that. But here is a piece of technology that is called a Zoom Board smartwatch keyboard. It makes small screen typing easier, and we're wondering if Apple is going to copy. Well, let me don't say copy so much as implement this technology into their Apple device. You see, now according to the Zoom Board smartwatch keyboard, they said it makes typing on a screen easier, and with all these smartwatches coming out by Apple, Microsoft, Samsung, plenty of new application services are sure to be released to one of them. However, one thing that is a little harder to accomplish on a small screen is typing. So enter the Zoom Board. This Zoom Board is a solution specifically designed to make the task of typing on smaller smartwatch screens easier. You see that it's designed for that. So maybe Apple will invest in something like that. The Zoom Board solution consists of a full QWERTY keyboard which zooms in as you type, making the selection of the keys easy. And we have a demonstration right here to show you. So if you're going to be into these new wearable computing, the iWatch, there's one coming from Samsung. This is something you might be interested in. And the proliferation of touchscreen devices has made soft keyboards a routine part of life. However, ultra small computing platforms like Sony smartwatch that they might be coming out with, Samsung, Apple, Google, all these companies, Apple, iPod Nano, lack of text entry shows you, because the Nano is too small, that having a touch screen type keyboard is tough, you know, on these smaller devices. This limits their potential, despite the fact that they're capable computers in this work. we present the soft keyboard interaction technique called Zoom board that enables text entry on ultra small devices to be easier, is what the people at Zoom board is saying. And Zoom board also says that their approach uses iterative zooming to enlarge otherwise impossibly tiny keys to comfortable size. We base our design on a QWERTY keyboard layout so that it is immediately familiar to users and leverages existing skills. You know, as the ultimate test, we ran a text entry experiment on a keyboard measuring just 16 by 6 millimeters, smaller than a US penny. Users achieved roughly 10 words per minute, allowing users to enter phone numbers and searches such as closest pizza and directions such as home, both quickly and quietly without having to worry about the small keyboard. So the Zoom board keyboard will be showcased at the Computer Human Interaction Conference in Paris this week coming up, and the Zoom board source code will be made freely available to anyone who wants it. So hopefully Apple, Google, Samsung, they're looking at this platform. They're looking at this platform because that's going to be one of the biggest things that we were talking about with these iWatches, with these smartwatches, that the screen is going to be small and it's going to be hard to type and see different things on it. But according to this, the interaction is going to be seamless to where if you want to press a key, it zooms in and out depending on how you're typing. So we have a video clip of how this technology really works. And we're going to see if Apple and the other companies, you know, if this is something that they're really going to, if they're going to be able to implement in their next generation, or first generation really, in their first generation smartwatches. Because if they can, this is really going to be something that's cool. Now here you see, this is the interface right here, being shown in picture form. You can't really see it right here with the letters. This is the letters here. It's small. It gets bigger and then bigger right here. But we have a video presentation from the company right here that we're going to show you. And hopefully this is going to show us what this technology, what this application, and the source code for this application, they're going to make freely available. So let's watch this and see, you know, saying exactly how it works.
Devices like the Apple iPod Nano and Sony smartwatch lack a means of text entry, presumably because they're too small to support one. We present Zoom board, a diminutive QWERTY soft keyboard that enables typing on such ultra-small devices. This is achieved by iterative zooming until keys are sufficiently large that they can be comfortably and accurately pressed. Spaces can be typed with the spacebar or by performing a right swipe. A left swipe deletes the last character. An up swipe brings up the keyboard for symbols. The number of zoom levels can also be set. This ultra-small example has 3 levels of zoom. But in this scaled-up version of the same technique, we use 2 levels of zoom to help users with impaired vision or reduced motor control. It can also be scaled down to enable typing on Pico devices. We ran a text entry study using this penny-sized keyboard and found that users could accurately enter text at approximately 10 words per minute. Thanks for watching. Please see our paper for more details.
There you go. So we're hoping that companies like Apple, like Samsung, like Google, all of those companies coming out with these smartwatches, hopefully they will use a technology like this. You know, they will implement this sort of thing. Matter of fact, this is a company that I can see being bought by a Google or an Apple, you know what I'm saying, to implement this type of technology if Apple doesn't have or Google doesn't have something like this already, because that was one of the problems that we were saying here on Tech Pulse. I mean, you're going to have, and to show you that Apple screen again, I'm going to show you the Apple's, the size of the Apple's watch. To show you that again, I mean, just because the watch looks a decent size, still try and imagine a full QWERTY keyboard on that. It's just not going to be very easy to type. And this is obviously a zoomed in version of a person's wrist. but that's going to be an actual size watch. And to put a full QWERTY keyboard on a screen that size, the keyboard has to be small. But if you can implement the technology of this Zoom board, smartwatch keyboard that this company has come out with on something like that, then it can make typing on it a little bit more practical. It can make things a little bit more practical on it because it's going to be limited as to what this watch does. I don't think anyone is going to be surfing the web, you know, with a watch on their hands, but at the same time, being able to type out emails, being able to type text messages without having to pull out my phone, I can just send it via Bluetooth, and the iWatch is going to be able to send and receive calls. So with that capability on it, being able to send text messages as well, you know, just quickly, without having to bring out my phone, I can just have my wrist up and I can type different things. And Devin is saying, oh yeah.
Here's, you know, how important it is to me. Now I can drive and text.
And text at the same time. Just,
you know?
Just put my hand on the wheel.
Yeah.
You know, and
without skipping a beat.
Without skipping a beat, you see?
Yeah,
these technologies coming out, these things are crazy, man.
Yeah.
These things are crazy. But that's the world that we live in. That's the era that we're a part of, this technology era, and you just can't you can't get around it because
it just feels like stuff is just rolling out.
Yeah,
it just
every second
every
is something.
second is
and
a
every
new,
second there's just another iteration of something that you thought that you didn't even think of. As a matter of fact, in this next story, scientists came up with these arrays of transistors made of nanowires, and these nanowires are supposed to be able to mimic. They're saying that, well, the application of it is to mimic human touch sensitivity, you know, to get as sensitive, nanoscale pressure sensitives that can mimic the human skin. You know, like how you can feel different light touches, heavy touches, stuff like that. According to a report by MIT, they said arrays of transistors made of nanowires could form the basis of new class of devices nearly as sensitive to mechanical force as the human skin is, according to research science. They said that the inventor of the technology, Zhongling Wang, a professor of material science and engineering at Georgia Tech, says it has immediate applications in human-machine interfaces. For example, it can be used to capture electronic signatures by recording a distinctive force an individual applies while signing. Down the road, Wang says his group's pressure-sensitive arrays could equip robotics and prosthetics with human-like sense of touch, electronically replacing the sensitivity of the human sense of touch has proved extremely challenging because there's so much range of nerves that are in the human fingers and so forth that registers different touch variations. But recently some research groups have demonstrated that micro or nano electronics assembled on flexible, bendable substrates could monitor pressure changes at a fairly high level of detail and thus could potentially act as a kind of artificial skin. So I mean, these are things that's upcoming, and the flexible material. Let me show you it real quick. The flexible material is just you know, some transparent. It doesn't even look like anything that would have micro transistors on it, but you know, this is where technology is going, and it like Devin said, it seems like every time you turn around, you know, there's something else going on. You know, there's something now. You probably really can't see it too well because it's clear. You know what I'm saying? But let me see if I can blow it up here. Yeah, you can see this is a hand right here, and he's holding the material right here. This is the pressure-sensitive material. Let me try and zoom it in. Yeah, this is the pressure-sensitive material right here that he's talking about. That's being used with that's being used in the creation, in the application. Now, here's the drawback, and this is why this is still an experiment. Even though that material may be pressure sensitive and touch sensitive to record the minute touches, which is what a lot of people, obviously, who wear prosthetics, they can't feel like we can with our hands and stuff like that. They don't have that feeling. And this could be the first step in bringing that touch capability to be able to feel when something is soft versus something is rough. You'll be able to feel when you're pushing, when something is hard or you're pushing onto something.
Are you saying that those people who can't feel right now might have a chance? Because there's some humans who have no feeling, and we need to give them some skin like this.
Well, this is only able to give you skin feeling. If you have no feelings, they haven't invented anything that
They
can take
have
care of that.
neither. They just need some feelings somehow.
Any kind of feelings. Huh? So,
Skin or mental.
but the main part of this, even though they can, this technology with the transistors made of nanowires could mimic the human sensitivity, the real problem is that information being able to be sent to the brain. That's where the real technology is going to come in. It being able to record various levels of sensitivity, I'm sure they can deal with that. But being able to interface it to where it can send that information to the brain so you can now feel it, that's where and they're light years away from that being a reality. So even though we at Tech Pulse, we like to bring you things in the making, be on the cutting edge, but this isn't anywhere near being able to be practical for at least, as an engineer myself, the technical aspects of bringing this to life is way beyond what we're capable of, because the human brain is so complex, and scientists still don't understand how the brain stores chemically information, how the brain stores the memories of how something feels, so you understand that this is soft, this is cotton, this is wood, this is steel. All of that is just not understandable to us at this time as to how the brain does that. And so to be able to relay information that the brain will understand and be able to interpret to tell you that this is soft, this is, those impulses, scientists haven't figured out how God did that, how he was able to create the nerves to send an impulse that means soft, to where even if you don't know that's the word for it, you still feel it as soft. You see what I'm saying? So that's an impulse that's sent. So it's still light years away, us being able to understand. So even though this is breakthrough technology as far as allowing robots to be able to pick something up softly, to understand, not to crush something and so forth, or as the professor says, used to capture electronic signatures by how hard you sign and stuff like that. Those applications are right around the corner. But application as far as in prosthetics, to where the human wearing the prosthetics can get the impulses to their brain to know that they're walking too hard or they're pressing too hard or whatnot, that's still a ways off. So we're going to have to wait and see, really wait and see, I guess, how this technology, how it takes off, and how it manifests itself, in the future. Now let's take another quick break to talk about yet another sponsor here at Tech Pulse, and that is Ultimate Organics. Yes, if you want 100% natural organic materials in your home, because it's not just food. It's the chemicals we use to clean. It's the chemicals we use to wash our clothes. All of these different things, the lotions. Some of it can be harmful to some people. Some people have allergies to certain chemicals. Most parents, I know, don't want their children around harsh chemicals when it comes to cleaning and things like that. Well, if you get your products from ultimateorganics.net, they have over 11,000 products that covers household cleaning, deodorants, aerosols, air odor neutralizers, and then you have the pet supplies, food. You have human food. You have snacks, drinks, natural energy drinks, teas, herbal teas, caffeine free. you know, that you can drink to relax at the end of a stressful day. So all of these things, 100% organic, natural, healthy. If you're looking for that next level, if you're looking to improve your diet, if you're looking to just make your household a healthier place, and you want to do it in a cost-effective way, you want to be able to buy singly and in bulk, check out ultimateorganics.net. They have what you need, and they will ship your order with speed. Oh yeah, you didn't expect that kind of rhyme to come out. All right, so we're gonna head right back into our news here on Tech Pulse. I know you're saying, whoo, this guy is just loading us up with all kind of information, and I'm gonna hit you up with something else right now. We're on that road, because remember at CES, for those of you who hadn't seen, we're on that road not only to wearable computing, but where our phones and maybe even down the road our tablets can become flexible. Yes, no longer hard, unbendable screens that can crack. Samsung showed at CES, and this is a technology that we're keeping watch right here, so we wanted to bring it to you here on Tech Pulse. Samsung showed at CES their flexible 5.5-inch screen. Flexible screen, you know, that can bend, you know, while having an image on it. They showed that earlier this year. It's a 5.5-inch screen, so that covers phones, that covers, it's just smaller than most tablets. We're going to show you a picture of it here. And Samsung just, you know, gave us something to think about when they showcased their 5.5-inch phone screen. Not just a screen, but a phone screen at CES. Samsung display will be, they demonstrated a pair of bendable screens at the CES earlier this year that could one day appear in a radically new smartphone or TV design, according to company representatives. You know, the flexible smartphone 5.5-inch flexible screen sports a resolution of 1280 by 720. You're talking 720p video, high definition, and a pixel density of, the pixels are those little small squares you see on your screen, 267 pixels per square inch. And this can even be accomplished in a 55-inch television screen, they're saying. And according to a representative of Samsung, they said Samsung has been developing curved screen for some time, showing off smaller screen demos like a 4.5-inch WVGA screen at about a 200 pixel density, seen in the 2011 CES. With this increase in screen size, Samsung is clearly keeping pace with today's smartphone expectations, especially since they're the ones that came up with the Note, the Galaxy Note and the Note 2, big beefy 5.5-inch screens. Now, unfortunately, no information on pricing and worldwide availability has been announced, but obviously as soon as information comes, we at Tech Pulse are going to let you know. But just to let you know where your phones are headed as far as screens are concerned, let me show you this 5.5-inch bendable, high definition, nearly 300 pixels per square inch density screen that Samsung came out with and they're working on. And this is where your phones might be able to, to be flexible to wear and so thin that they can fit in a pocket. Because right now, the image that you see is the screen with something on it. Right here, here we go. This is the screen right here, and look at how flexible it is. He's bending it into a half circle. And this thing is, this has a picture on it right here. It's on. The picture is live. And look at how he's bending that thing into a half circle. That is what Samsung is working on for the next generation phones. Can you imagine having a phone that's flexible? You can put it, you can sit on your phone now. Remember, you put your phone in your back pocket, you sit down, crunch, and you're like, oh man.
Screen.
Yeah, that's the screen. And they're saying that that can be the actual full phone. You see? So imagine what technology is working on. Imagine in the next few years you have a flexible phone. A phone that you can just, pull out, put in your back pocket, put in your shirt sleeve. No big deal, it doesn't bend and break. like the normal screens. This is what's heading our way. You know what I'm saying? And you have a front row seat here on Tech Pulse. So when you go to work and you're with your friends, you're saying, man, I wonder when those new flexible screens are coming out. Your friends are like, what? What are you talking about? You tell them, you haven't watched Tech Pulse? Man, you need to get with the times if you're going to stay up to date on what's happening in the tech world. I'm telling you, technology is advancing at such a rapid pace these days that you need a show like Tech Pulse to keep up and to just keep up to date with all the different iterations of things that are coming out. That's crazy, exactly. That's crazy, man. So here in our next story, we're talking about the Amazon Kindle. Amazon is looking to take $20 off their paperweight Kindle. You know, the black and white Kindle that they have. According to sources at Amazon, they are looking to knock $20 off their Kindle Paperwhite. They said that Amazon is holding a special promotion for Kindle Paperwhite e-readers, making versions of the device available for $99 with a special promotion code. If you want the Kindle Paperwhite for $20 off, just enter the coupon code KindlePW. That's KindlePW. We're giving you this special promotion code right here on Tech Pulse. If you're looking to get the new Kindle, well, not new, but a new Kindle Paperwhite, it has higher resolution, higher contrast, patented built-in light with 8-week battery life, not 8 day, 8-week battery life. This is the world's most advanced e-reader, as Amazon is saying. If you want to get it for $99 and you want to get a $20 off, this code has to be entered in. It's Kindle, KINDLEPW, Kindle PW during the ordering process, and the deal will go through. Now this deal applies to any version of Kindle Paperwhite, and it runs through April 30th. So it's not a long deal, 2013. You don't have long to get this deal. To refresh your memory, the Kindle Paperwhite display has a resolution of 212 pixels per square inch, and it has a light guide system that scatters light evenly across the display, so it's easier to read in various environments. You know, when you get out in high sunlight, or when you're in a shadowy room, or when you're in complete darkness. You know what I'm saying? That light guide system disperses the light depending on where you are. It also has a 25% lighter contrast ratio than previous Kindles. It's only 9.1 millimeters thick. It weighs only 7.5 ounces and is also lighter than most paperback novels. The battery life, as we said, on a single charge, the battery can last 8 weeks. Not 8 days, not a week, not even 2 weeks. This thing can last a full 2 months on a single battery charge. And you get it at $20 off by entering this coupon code that we have right here. You're not getting this in the regular world. Right here on Tech Pulse. That's Kindle PW. Let me show you a picture of this Kindle Paperwhite in case you're like, man, I never knew Kindle had that. But Amazon Kindle, they're offering a $20 offer just for the next few days here. If you put it in during the ordering process, you can get a $20 off to bring your total down to $99.99. Oh yeah, $20 off. There you go with that Kindle Paperwhite. And if you want that, it's the code is Kindle PU. Let me show you this code right here. Maybe you can't see it, but right here, Kindle, right there, Kindle PU. That's the code. You want to enter this code when you order your new Kindle Paperwhite, and it will give you that $20 off promotion, bringing your total down to just $99.99. You know what I'm saying? If you're looking for a good e-reader, you know, you don't want all the frills, you don't want all, you're not looking for a tablet, you're looking for an e-reader. Something you can just read your newspapers, you know what I'm saying, read your books and stuff like that. The Kindle Paperwhite is being released for $99.99. Not released, but the promotion is going on. So you're hearing about that right here on Tech Pulse. We're bringing you, you see, at Tech Pulse, we bring the noise. You know what I'm saying? You know, we bring it. We don't just give you fluff and then you're like, man, well, these people are just giving us fluff. They don't have anything, you know, really to give us. You know, no, we come out with all of the top things going on. And speaking of the top things, you know, as we get rounded up here on Tech Pulse, we just want to let you know that if you tune in daily, you know, you will learn something about technology. And just to leave you with one other piece of information, and that is iPhone 5S photos have been leaked. That's right, iPhone 5 photos have been leaked. And here's what they look like now. I mean, here's what I mean. They don't look like anything. The photos that they showed really aren't. It doesn't look like anything much. But these new 5S phones that iPhone is coming out with, this is what they're in, like production trays and stuff like that. So this is what it's looking like. They're gonna look like when they hit store shelves. You know, so let me just show you a bit of this real quick. Here we go. Just so you see that the iPhone 5, these are some of the images that they're saying. This is what the iPhone 5 is gonna look like. As you can see, it looks similar to what you already know. This is the thickness of it, but right here, this is it right here. Just looks like the regular iPhone from what we can see. There you go. There's the phone right here, Just, you know, looks like a standard phone, nothing dramatic. You know, it doesn't look like anything revolutionary. Now this is without the back on it, so we gotta wait and see exactly what the finished design. But these are the photos that have been leaked. This is all that we're seeing. You're not gonna see any better pictures anywhere as to what the iPhone 5 might look like. So this is what we're seeing coming out of the Apple camp. And just to leave you with one final piece of Apple news, Apple also has been showing a commercial. You know, they showed a commercial, an advertisement that focuses on the abilities of the iPhone. Now, I don't know what Apple was trying to accomplish with this video. I don't know if you guys have seen it. If not, you're going to see it right here. This is a new advertisement for iPhone on their photography. They're showing us what the iPhone, I guess they're showing us what the iPhone has done for you in lieu of their coming out with the iPhone 5. I guess they're trying to let us know what the iPhone means to people. Let's listen in on this commercial as we get prepared to end another Tech Pulse. So let's I'll let you see this commercial. You be the judge. I mean, is this something that Apple needed to come out with, or is this just another attempt at Apple to tell you that you need what we have to offer? Let's see here. Okay, let's put this right here in the middle, and here we go. Yeah, this is the commercial that Apple has come out with.
Hold it.
Every day, more photos are taken with the iPhone than any other camera.
All right. That's it. They said every day more phones are taken with the iPhone than any other camera. I don't know what they were hoping to come out, but that's their new phone promotion commercial that they're coming out with. They don't say iPhone 5. It doesn't say. It's just telling you that more pictures are taken with iPhone than any other camera. So with that, we're gonna leave you. This is another exciting edition of Tech Pulse has come to a close. We want to thank everyone for joining us. You know, I mean, it's just, you know, it's sad when this thing ends, but we're gonna be back. We're gonna be back tomorrow. We're gonna be back with more tech news. Tune in. You know, make sure that you're ready to join us for another Tech Pulse. Thank you for joining us today. Enjoy the day, and we'll see you tomorrow. Peace.